want war. Crime babies looking for food, starvation, the recipe, people subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day and every clue. Don't let it go, it's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind, is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets, with the people in the slums and the homeless bums, with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep, leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and up and we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die, you voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers, cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather, I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double, but nature gets the shit in a way to settle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TV's whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't tear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't steer. And like an ab, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war.
Again, it is the 3rd November, and yeah, as the world turns, wow. I mean, have you all heard that a bubble is about to hit? That's like, you know, the economy in the U.S. is about to sink, take a major nosedive. You know, I'm not really ready to go all the way into that, but it's real, y'all. I mean, check the Treasury. They just inserted, there was a lot of money pumped into it, and usually that's a sign of things not doing well, people not spending enough money, right? The money's not circulating, and of course it's all due to Trump, because people don't have no goddamn money. People don't have money. People are scared. People are holding on to money. Anytime you create a crisis, you know, people that have any sense are going to spend less money. If there's an economic crisis is you getting fired from your job. A president announcing he's going to lay off 100,000 federal workers. That makes people hold on to what they got tight. All of this shit that Trump is doing, tariffs, what you think tariffs do? It makes people hold on to what they got tight, if they have any sense, if they have anything to hold on to, right? And Yeah, I mean, what do you think ICE does? It makes people not go out because people don't want to be harassed and stopped for the ID like they live in Nazi Germany time. Back in, in 1940s, people don't want to be harassed in the neighborhood where they grew up, where they have neighbors, where they have people they care for, where they walk outside of their house and experience love every day. They don't want to all of a sudden be stopped by strangers who don't come from there, who don't know them, and actually hate them. Because a lot of the ICE people actually hate the communities they're patrolling. It's not like police. It's like they actually look down on you. They think you're vermin. They think liberals are vermin. And so this is what people are tired of. And but yeah, so it appears, folks, we already into stage 2, basically. Stage 2. And I was saying this a few, like months back. I know some of the times I say this and people that haven't been listening to me for a while say, yeah, he said that before, man. Why he keep saying that? Because it's true, man. I told people this guy is going to make the situation so bad he's going to run down your resources. Okay, economy means taking away your resources. Okay, it means all of a sudden you have less money to spend. You have less food to eat. You have less things to be able to defend yourself. And I said that's the first thing you do is bleed people's pockets. And I'm not trying to make people go into any sort of chaos. Like let me know if the audio is good too. I'm not trying to scare the hell out of anybody. I'm just keeping it real, logically, rationally. What would I do if I wanted to hurt somebody? Of course you don't go attack them when they got all the bullets and, all the food they need to have a sustained fight. You don't attack them when things are going well, when they got no, you attack them when their chips are down. That's when you make a decisive move, right? And I'm just saying, either that or they're just playing games with people, toying with people's lives. Either one. Either Trump is really, really about it, and I told people, go out there. It may sound crazy, but just go in a calm, orderly fashion. I said this months ago. I started saying this months ago. Go in a calm, orderly fashion and just register. Get yourself a license to have a weapon in your home. Even if you never thought about it before, maybe a lot of people didn't think. Maybe a lot of people didn't think they would have to do that to protect their way of life. It's kind of petty when you have to protect your way of life and you're the taxpayer. You're the one that's pumping, that's feeding the rest of the country. It's really crazy to be from a blue state that's feeding other people who generate less federal taxes for the government to function. It's really crazy to think that you're feeding them, but they hate you. But this is the U.S. The U.S. bites the hand that feeds it. That's exactly what it does. And there's a lot of people that are just used to biting the hand that feeds us. And it's coming down to this. Now, of course, it's very suicidal because regardless of who you like and what they think, ask yourself this. Would you do that? If someone you didn't like was your lifeline, keeping you, your family alive, would you take them out if they were your lifeline? I mean, you tell me. I would like to know how you think because I definitely wouldn't. I would wait until I could carry shit on my own. You know what I'm saying? But this is not what you're dealing with. You're dealing with crazy people. You're dealing with seriously crazy people. And their plan was to do this. I mean, Trump ran. He ran on the platform of just destroying everything, making people feel pain. I mean, Russell Voigt is salivating at the mouth to make people starve. I mean, they're like, oh, government shutdown. Great. That's what we wanted. We wanted a government shutdown. Although we understand why you want to negotiate, because if you don't negotiate, it will be your sheer destruction. I understand that too. But guess what? We can destroy you this way. Because we already planned on destroying you this way. I mean, they already planned on doing this. So this is self-induced. Whatever is going on in the U.S. is self-induced. Nobody from the outside made the U.S. do this. People pleaded with Trump. He did it anyway. People told the voters, the MAGA voters, hey, man, Listen, you may hate liberals. Y'all great. But don't just think about what you hate. Think about what you love. Because this man is planning on doing things that's going to hurt your life. And these people were like, fuck that. Let me find the 1% tranny running around. Find them. Stop them from getting a job. That's what they said. Loads of people were warned. Even Kamala Harris, she's the first female vice president that's ever existed in the United States of America. And you know what? There may never be another one. And people couldn't even listen to her last words. She said, she's warning you. She's warning you. Or people are like, go back to your half Indian, half whatever. Your great granddaddy was a slave master. Even though he wasn't. They just made shit up. That was okay for MAGA. People are out of their goddamn mind on the dark web. Don't even realize when somebody's looking out for them. Don't even realize when someone disagrees but doesn't hate you. Because they're so full of hate. Hate blinded them. And now Trump is whipping their ass with snap. Trump is going to take their snap. Trump is taking a snap. Red states need snap. These poor white folk also like their food stamps, it turns out. A logical person would think, damn, this would be about money. This would be about capitalism. This would be about classism. And then a crazy motherfucker is going to be like, no, this has got to be about race, goddammit. And if you're going to suffer, I'm willing to suffer. I'm willing to give up my snap if I can hurt some more Latinos, if I can hurt some brown black people. Ooh, that's literally what they did. And this is what they're getting. This is what they're getting because they didn't want to listen. So shit's going to snap. There's going to be a bubble. They've been warning about this, but usually economists, if you have any brains, you don't want to keep warning about it. You don't want to worry people. So they go in. But look, the bubble, I'm just telling you right now, the bubble's coming. The crash is coming. Fuck it. Don't wait. Some people can't afford to wait to the last minute. And that's why I said about this thing about get yourself a license to carry a weapon, because some people aren't in the position to wait to the last second to make a plan. Yo, I know a lot. See, I'm not the rich class. I'm not the upper class. I'm the regular Joe, the middle class union guy. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk real to my people. The folks that I walk around, real talk. You can't afford to wait till the last second like a lot of other people. A lot of all the podcasters, a lot of the well-known podcasters, they straight already. They got their safe. They got the weapon in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, Kamala Harris got a gun. Yeah, Kamala Harris would shoot your ass. She has a gun, and she told you she would. She said, you come in my house, I'm going to shoot your ass. So there's a lot of people that's already ready. But, it always comes down to the have-nots. The ones that are closer to the have-not, just people, do your best to show some love to these people in your community. Do the ones that have, do your best to help organize for the ones that don't have, because this is a lunatic, and this is fully self-induced. It's induced. Supreme Court helped induce it. Who else gives leeway to a goddamn felon? Friend of a rapist, friend of a pedophile, friend of a sex trafficker, a slaver. Who does that? The United States Supreme Court does. Hey, they got good judgment, right? They're supreme. They have excellent judgment. They have the type of judgment skills where they're like, you know what? This dude is 34-time felon. That means he stole from the people he's around, who he lives around and grew up with. He stole tax money from them instead of helping the people around him like everybody else paid taxes for. He steals money, and he's coming off the bat of his best friend being the most prolific sex slaver and trafficker of minors the country has ever seen, which is loaded blackmail. The Supreme Court sat there. Clarence Thomas looked at that shit, and all the rest of them was like, hey, he sounds like a nice guy to me. What can I do? I mean, this doesn't look like trouble. Why don't we give him immunity? Why don't we give him more immunity than he already had? That's what they said. That's actually what they said. It's so crazy. And everybody else is sitting back watching. I mean, I'm myself. I'm like, if you plan on selling your house, you might want to sell it. I think it's too late for you now, because now that this thing has happened with the reserve pumping money into the treasury, yeah, nobody's got money. No one's going to buy your house for what the value is right now. Nah. That's not how it works. See, when the shit is going up, inclining up, even a slight incline up or steady, somebody will buy your house for the amount of money you think it's worth then. But when shit is looking in peril, oh no, they're going to pay you pennies on a dollar. You know what I'm saying? A quarter on a dollar, probably. If you're lucky, 50%. You see what I mean? So it's bad. And I'm definitely not going out to buy no house right now. I'm waiting until the shit go all the way down. Then I'm going to say, you know what? Let me buy a house, because I wasn't one of these hard-headed asses that didn't want to listen and apply my brain and didn't, I wasn't prejudiced when doing my analysis. I was looking across the board, just looking at people as people, trying to be extra fair, even to the people that I know is up to some bullshit. Just give them a little rope. Take my time making my analysis. Give them a little rope, and no need to rush my judgment. Let me work for me. Let me make sure I know what the fuck I'm doing, because nobody else is doing that for me. Yeah, and that's what I did. And I hope other folks made the right choices for their lives, however their lives are. I hope you didn't have a delusion to make you think, you're better than the average working class person in the United States of America. You got a federal job. That ain't really nothing. State job. How much does that pay? It ain't paying Trump money. It ain't even paying Caroline Leavitt money. Now she just skipped past go. She just jumped over your ass with the criminal link, with the corruption link. Everybody in Trump's cabinet is getting paid better than you. You see what I mean? And it's just really, really, really sad. It's really, really sad, because this could all end. This could all end with people saying, impeach this MFer right now. It can, but some of you are too fucking stupid. Some of you are too fucking stupid. Some of you are too stupid. You just won't. You want more pain. It's like sadomasochism. Like, goddamn, you really like this kind of shit? This is a walk on the wild side. Most normal people don't have time for it. Most normal people don't have time for this kind of bullshit ride, a self-induced ride. Like, you know what I'll do today? I'll vote for a 34-time felon, best friend of a pedophile, sex trafficker, probably going to be blackmailed up the ass, right? All types of shit. The last time he tried to invade the Capitol and stop the election, you know what I'll do? I'll vote for his ass again. And yes, they did. And the Supreme Court said, you know what? Fuck it. Don't stop him now from running for office. No. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, the show must go on. And speaking of that, before we get into dingy ass Trump, diaper man Trump, some people call him Kanks. Shout out to the folks that call him Kanks. I see you. Great analysis. This old fart of a guy, this nasty man, Mr. Nasty Man, the nastiest man to ever be gluttonous, just a pure, he is the walking embodiment of gluttony. Trump is. But before we get to Trump, one of Trump's sidekicks, and usually I don't like to talk about this lady, right? Usually I don't like to talk about her. I don't like to talk about this woman right here because she's fucking nuts. She is fucking nuts. Candace Owens is goddamn nuts. She's one of these people that was capping for Trump. I'm sorry. All of these people are in the doghouse now. They all sitting back trying to explain why they did it. Why is shit different than what you said it would be when everyone else said, no, Trump's going to fuck everything up. Why did you say he was going to do? Why did you say he was going to lower prices? Why did you say he's going to do this, do that? He's going to get rid of the mental illness of the trannies. He's going to get rid of that. Why did you say he was going to do all of this stuff, especially with the economy? You said he was going to fix the economy. You said all this other shit was going to fix the economy. No, he stole from you instead. Every person that said it doesn't even matter. The experts, even the experts, they capped for Trump. Elon Musk, what he said didn't happen. None of these clowns, all the shit they said didn't happen. Not really. Not the things he promised to give the people. None of that shit fucking really happened, actually. Not anything he said that was supposed to be good. Right? So now people have just accepted it like, yeah, fuck it. He lied to me, but hey, he's still my baby. He's still my president. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on him like I'm waiting on Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to wait on him. And a lot of people wait. But in any case, Candace Owens' crazy ass, and excuse me, it's just my opinion. I don't know if she's really has a real illness, mental illness, or been diagnosed or anything like that. I don't know. But she acts crazy to me. So, but she's been out there on this thing about Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. And she's following up on it and following every clue. Ring a bell? Ring a bell, anybody? Candace Owens does that a lot. She follows every rabbit hole. She was doing that. That's probably why she voted for Trump. Did she vote for Trump? Well, that's why she was capping for Trump. That's why she hated Kamala. And forget if she voted for Trump, but that's why she hated Biden. She went down the rabbit hole. That's why she hated Kamala. She went down the rabbit hole. And now that Trump is the president, she flipped her shit all around on Trump. And now she's going down a new rabbit hole. It's the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole. So let's take a listen. This is wild, though. It's wild. You tell me what you think.
Trust.
And this is reporting by Young Turks. So big up to Young Turks. Check out this.
Cash Patel, right? Like, I just don't, he just seems a bit incompetent to me. And so that's where my starting point is. Now, Candace Owens took a week off recently. She came back, and on her first show back, she kind of lists some of the things that she finds questionable.
Big up to everybody in the chat. I see y'all.
So she's drawing attention to footage that she found strange from the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. So let's start with Charlie's chief of staff, who is a 24-year-old by the name of Mike McCoy. And he happens to be the son of Pastor Rob McCoy, who seems pretty offended that Candace Owens is asking questions about what really happened that day, who really killed Charlie Kirk. And Tyler Robinson, being the suspect here, she's not convinced by that. Were there other people involved?
So you can hear Candace Owens is going down the damn rabbit hole. Okay, fine for her. I don't give a damn. If she want to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm just saying, how many rabbit holes does it take before you just completely nuts go and just really some damage gets done? But I'm interested in this one just for the hell of it. By the way, click the like button, y'all. Please do that for me.
Asking questions. So for those who don't know anything about Rob McCoy, I certainly didn't. It turns out that Rob McCoy co-chairs the faith division of Kirk's Turning Point
Because I don't know who the fuck Rob McCoy is either.
USA. And he said that Kirk don't know anything about Rob McCoy. I certainly didn't. It turns out that Rob McCoy co-chairs the faith division of Kirk's Turning Point USA. And he said that Kirk was a friend to Candace and never spoke poorly of her.
Don't this sound like a cat fight almost? I don't know.
Though he disagreed with her, he urged Owens to behave like Kirk, who he claims wouldn't have spread similar theories if, God forbid, this tragedy had been hers. And he also says, quote, "I only wish at this tragic time of mourning, she would be a friend to Charlie, that he was to her. He would never have treated Candace or her family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers." Okay. The other thing that I'll just...
So this is like friends saying, I'm a better friend than you because I would never do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do it that way. I'm a better friend to Charlie than you are, Candace.
Just note is,
if you were really a friend, you shouldn't do it that way. But Candace says, the only person she'll, give leeway to is his wife, who, by the way, seems to really have a thing like hold me tight type of shit. Turn off the lights and light a candle. She has feelings for the vice president, J.D. Vance. I didn't even think a woman really could have feelings for him because he is not really a manny type of man right there. Damn, something weird about that dude. But hey, let everybody be who they are. No problem. I don't have any issue with that. You are who you are. You got the right to be who you are. But check this out. Let's listen.
Candace Owens is on the record essentially saying the only person who can stop me from asking these questions and engaging in this, independent investigation is Charlie Kirk's wife. If she hits me up and tells me I want you.
That is so narcissistic too. It's like, the only person that could tell me that's how a narcissist invites somebody into their life. You know what I'm saying? That's like a narcissistic threat. The only person that can stop my ass from going ham crazy on TV about her husband being assassinated, how it's a conspiracy. The only person that's going to stop me from being out there on the internet making money off of this idea is the wife. Like, why doesn't she already have her permission in the first damn place? But Candace don't give a damn.
You to stop, I will respect that. She's on the record saying that. So
if she wants me to stop, I will respect that. That's some narcissistic shit right there for you. Like, Candace Owens, who said you that fucking important? Like, come on. The lady, I'm not capping for her. I don't like her. I think she's nuts. I think her ideas are crazy. And I think Charlie Kirk was full of shit and just dumb, opportunist, right? Figured out how to scam people by saying stupid things we already figured out 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago is not nice in the United States, given the real fucking history. But having said that, they did all of this stuff. And Candace Owens is like, if she tells me to stop, I will. Why didn't she just talk to her in the beginning? This is really hurting me. I hope you don't mind, but I really feel like something bad and illegal has happened to this guy. I really feel like it's a conspiracy. Would you mind if I tried to deal with that on my podcast? That's what you're supposed to do. Especially if you claiming he's a friend of yours. Listen, if he's not a friend of yours, then fuck it. Full speed ahead. But she's claiming both. But in any case,
just kind of want to make that clear. Now,
neither here or there.
Pastor McCoy's son, Mikey, is seen on a phone, like talking to someone on the phone immediately as Charlie Kirk gets shot. And that's what Candace Owens is going to weigh in on here. She finds this strange. Everyone pay close attention because I'm curious what your thoughts are and whether you find this strange. Take a look.
Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray." I said, "Okay, son." He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him.
He says Mikey had blood all over him, except Mikey did not have blood anywhere near him because Mikey was
okay. So she picked up on an inconsistency, right? And that's cool enough. But I don't know if y'all caught that. There's somebody capping and giving a story about what happened that day, and then she says, "Nah, there was no blood on this dude. What is this guy talking about?" Let's hear it one more time, just for the record.
Because I'm curious what your thoughts are. Weigh in on talking to someone on the phone immediately as Charlie Kirk gets shot. And that's what Candace Owens is going to weigh in on here. She finds this strange. Everyone pay close attention because I'm curious what your thoughts are and whether you find this strange. Take a look.
Yo, do me a favor. Click the like button, y'all. Click the like button.
Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call."
So this is his dad he's talking about. Not Charlie Kirk's dad, but the chief of staff's dad.
"Every pastor and pray." I said, "Okay, son."
So she's saying she don't believe the daddy of the chief of staff. I mean, that's a direct allegation. She's accusing the guy of being part of a conspiracy. Basically.
He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him.
He says Mikey had blood all over him, except Mikey did not have blood anywhere near him because Mikey was behind the tent when Charlie got shot. And Mikey, in less than a second, does something that I find to be quite strange. He puts his phone to his ear and he begins a conversation. So we decided to slow this clip down And we're going to watch this clip slow down so you can see that it is.
I mean, that looks very strange to me. However, the bottom line is that Candace Owens is always in a rabbit hole. Do they always turn out right? No. You're just on for another ride, regardless. You know, and like I said before, if this was really her friend, you would probably care in advance about what the wife says. I mean, that's an indication right there that she's not a friend of the wife. Just the fact that she didn't speak to her in advance, you know, I mean, that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she is right. I feel like there's something weird about the shit too. First of all, I said this when it happened. I already did a podcast. I can see there's some people that are really advocates of Candace Owens or believe there's a conspiracy. Well, guess what, y'all? I also mentioned this is strange. I said that months ago when the shit happened. I already went over a few different podcasts on this, a few different episodes on this, where we looked at the timing of that it took the individual to flee the scene, the person they say is the individual, all that shit. I already called out the security. How do you, I mean, just listen up, because I'm not saying it's not a conspiracy. I mean, I'm also not saying it is. But I'm also not saying that was no good security work. I find all of that strange. Like, why would you have a person? And this is what a lot of MAGA people don't get. And I think you guys have a little problem separating your politics from rational shit. You see what I mean? Now, and your emotions from rational shit. Now, I don't have to know what the conspiracy is. It doesn't even have to be a conspiracy. But as an American born bred, a person who's both sides of my family go back to the colonial period, I know American history pretty well. I don't see how you could expect to say the things Charlie Kirk said, all those hateful things to all those people in the United States of America, and expect not to get shot. That's what I said in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So it don't have to be a conspiracy. When you're saying hateful shit about people, any different type of person that you can find, and that's the way you make money, man, in the country where the citizens have more guns than any other place on earth, you're likely to be shot if that's your goddamn plan. And it doesn't mean Charlie Kirk. It means anybody. Why don't you go out there and take up Charlie Kirk's job and see what's going to happen to you? Because the odds are against you. Only a moron would do that. So I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but this shit she just showed right there, I find that pretty goddamn weird. Pretty weird, just the way he walked off. I mean, if that is him, that's weird too. That's weird.
And he begins a conversation.
You see him? You see that dude right there? Hold on, let me just slow that down. There's the guy right there. He's walking with a phone in his ear. He's on the fucking phone, yo. That's damn sure not what I would be acting like if I heard bullet shots. No, I wouldn't be walking calmly with on the phone. Hey, mom, how you doing? Can I get some? I wouldn't be ordering a cheese steak and shit. Let me see here. Let's play it back.
He begins a conversation.
Oh, I would have already been the fuck about it. Yo, I would have been. You would have seen my ass fly by that screen so goddamn fast, right past his ass. I would have knocked his ass over. But he's walking calm as hell. Look at this. What the fuck? I mean, yo, tell me, is that the actual dude? Is it the actual dude? I mean, you just tell me. I don't have to believe shit. The truth comes to those that wait. You see what I'm saying? I'm not in a hurry to figure out what happened to Charlie Kirk. Yes, you can get hurt. There's a number of reasons why you wouldn't want to do what Charlie Kirk was doing. Okay, many different reasons. Number one, and a lot of them are bad. Or reasons like bad. It's because it's attracting something bad and you're doing something bad. But I do understand there's people that support that kind of rhetoric. They will never hear what I'm saying anyway. They will never hear it. You see what I mean? But This shit right here. I mean, people are panicking and he's not panicking. So that's for damn sure. A bullet just went off and he's not panicking. He's not looking for who did it. He's leaving the scene if that is him. And again, I'm not saying that's him, but that's what Candace Owens saying. Maybe it is him though.
So we decided to slow this clip down, and we're going to watch this clip slow down so you can see that it is exactly 834 milliseconds.
Oh, okay, hold on. Somebody said Jose asked the question. My fault. Okay, please tell what Charlie said that was wrong. Oh, too many things. You see, the issue right there is that you likely don't know enough different kinds of people inside of the United States to know what was extremely offensive. And keep in mind, who asked all the other mass shooters about their families? Anybody asked what see, that's the whole point. That's the whole point right there. You live in a country with mass shooters where people wake up with more guns than any other place on earth, and all they have to do is have a bad day because something you said to them triggered them. And you best believe there's loads of people like that. If you just go up to an African American and call him slave and he had a bad day and he just happened to have a weapon in his hand that day, happened to be losing his home or happened to be doing something, you might come up dead. And that word slave might trigger him. Don't you know that? What fucking country you been living in? And that's not the only type of person. Damn, you're not thinking. You are in the country where the citizens are more armed than any other place on earth, and you're asking that question. See, you can debate over whether you think you should be able to say it, whether that should be legal, but goddamn, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb about it. And I don't hate you or anything for asking the question, but I'm being real about my response. If you never thought about that, you need to think again. That question is so weird. That's like saying, I live in a foreign country. What's wrong with me saying that? I know nothing about the people of this country. I know nothing about the struggles and the realities of this country. Hey, why don't I just say any goddamn thing to show that I know nothing about nobody? Come on, this is elementary. This is elementary. If you're a decent person or a knowledgeable person, you wouldn't want to say indecent things. Saying indecent things is totally legal. But Charlie Kirk says totally indecent things that aren't even real. He shows that he doesn't even care about anybody's feelings. And in fact, I don't believe he was doing it on accident. I believe he was doing it on purpose, just hiding. And this isn't the first time people have tried to use freedom of speech to make it equal hate speech. See, they want to protect hate speech, so they go out and try to normalize it and then cover themselves in the freedom of speech banner. You see what I mean? When really what they're doing is trying to normalize hate speech. But if you think normalizing hate speech is smart, why? Because it ain't looking too good on your pockets right now. How many of you are doing good right now with all the hate speech going around in the United States? Has that helped your pockets out? Has that helped your SNAP? Has that helped your health care? Has that helped your access to education? Has it helped you buy a house? What has it helped you do? You see what I mean? I'm just saying, for me, it hasn't helped me do shit. I'm not trying to offend. I respect people. And I'm going to tell you, I know my own ethnic group. I know my family's history on both sides. You see what I mean? So I have my favorite kind of people. I know what town I come from, Washington, D.C. I have my favorite kind of music. I have my favorite kind of way of doing things. But I also respect other people. And the reason why I respect other people, because I want people respecting me too. Because if you don't respect me, when I'm respecting you, there might be a problem. That's why I do it, because I don't want it to be no mistake. See, I'd rather treat everybody with their respect. So when somebody get it twisted with me, I don't have to think too long about how I'm going to handle that shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why I do things that way, because I don't want to feel like, oh, okay, I'm always the bad guy. So why not just, protect myself by respecting other people? Be kind about the words I say to them. Everyone, no matter who you are, your shit stinks too. You see what I mean? So why would you walk around always trying to focus on what stinks about people without speaking some love to them too, or some appreciation to them too? You're in the country where the citizens have more guns than any other place on earth. Act like you got some sense. Act like you got some sense. Or maybe you want all hell breaking loose. Maybe you want to be a broke ass. Let me tell you, I have universal health care. I'm grateful for that. So I speak like it. Okay? You don't. Maybe that's why you got an issue, fucking around with people. All right, enough on that. But let's get back to this.
From the time that you hear the shot. That is how long it takes.
This could be you. Let me go out there and say let me get out there. I mean, see, this is the thing. A lot of people automatically, you can't have it both ways. First of all, the right wing went out there and said, it was the leftist. It was a leftist tranny dude who did it. That's what the right wing said. And the left wing was like, the dude grew up in a Trump town, in a Trump family, taught by his family, by his daddy, how to shoot assault rifles as a child. That's not Washington, D.C. That's not how we learn. We don't grow up that way in Washington, D.C. That's in that, what is that, Utah? That's in Utah how they do that shit. And what did he do? Charlie Kirk said something. I mean, at least, the guys, according to what's out there, right? You may not believe it now, but that's what Fox News said. Fox News said it was a lefty, it was a tranny, Trump said it, all kinds of shit. And now you're trying to back up on that and say, no, it's not a tranny, it's Israel. You see what I'm saying? Like, how many rabbit holes you going to go down? At least you could understand you could go down any rabbit hole you want. I'm not saying you shouldn't or you can't or whatever, but I'm saying at least act like you got a little sense. At least know Charlie Kirk was saying loads of hateful shit to many different types of people. At least you could admit that. If you can't admit that, you may as well forget trying to figure out what happened with this one anyway.
So when this clip was brought, there we go. We're tracking that.
Yeah. So good reporting by Young Turks, like straight up. But let me just play one more thing. There's one more aspect to this that they covered. But that, I watch Young Turks sometimes, but I caught this one and it was actually worthy.
Don't know what to make of it. I mean, I know what I would do if I heard a gunshot. I would run for my life. He seems pretty calm, casual, and he's on.
Okay, y'all. So it's affirmative, pretty much. They backing up Candace Owens' story. It sounds like they're backing up the fact that was the actual, what do they call it? The employee, whatever the guy was for Charlie Kirk, head dude for Charlie Kirk, walking calmly. I guess they know that, because if it's not him, then there it is. So hopefully they did check that out before they talk and say, I wouldn't be doing what he's doing, this kind of thing. But that's just now. Tell me this, y'all. How many of you all think it's strange? You don't have to know what it is, but how many of you all think it's strange the way this guy walked off? Put a 1 in the chat
on the phone for what to make of.
Hold on. If you think it's actually strange the way he walked off, and let me put this on mute, and put a 2 in the chat if you think it's normal the way he walked off. If this is the guy, let me know what you think. Let me see here. I'm going to put a 1. I think the shit was strange, like straight up. Regardless of what you see, we don't have to agree about everything, but at least we could all agree this is actually strange. This is some strange shit. Whatever you want to call it, hey. Whatever you want to call it, you want to say it was Israel. You want to say it was a a person who's a transsexual. I'm sorry. You want to say what you want to say it was. Where the fuck? That's what I'm saying. I don't do that. I don't play that game. I don't play this game of claiming to know every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't play that game. You know what I do? I say when something weird happens, something bad happens, I learn from it and say, well, I ain't going to be standing next to another person like Charlie Kirk for a while. That's what I would do. I'm not going to be capping for his language. And guess what? If you think you want to talk like Charlie Kirk, well, then go right ahead and see what that gets you. You go on your tour around town, around the country even. He wasn't even in his town. See, I could understand it if he was in his town, at least in his own town, where people feel that way. No, this MFer was like, you know what? I'm going to take this show on the road and I'm going to go to everybody else's town, even where they don't like me. And I'm going to say it to their goddamn face. I'm going to set up a table, pull out a bullhorn and talk about all the trannies, talk about how Martin Luther King wasn't shit. I'm going to talk about it. Just any goddamn thing. It's like, wow, that's a interesting plan you got there, buddy. But the security, obviously they were the type that just didn't know anything. They didn't know step one. Because if I was his security, and hey, I would have gave him the advice. You could pay me. I would have told him, hey, Charlie, guess what, man? Sure, we have 6 people detail, blah, blah, blah. We could do this. But listen, man, it's much easier if you didn't say these kind of things. It's easier to protect your life. It's easier to protect your life. But would he listen to me? Nah, man, this is, nah. But in any case, fuck it. So everybody agrees. Let me see here. Yeah. Anyway, Charlie Kirk, he's a goner. He's a goner. And for whatever reason, we will find out. Candace Owens, she has found another interesting niche. You know what I'm saying? Now she's in there following around Charlie Kirk's wife, family, just inserted herself all in their business. You know what I'm saying? All I got to say is, damn, I don't like people like that. Just stay out of my goddamn life. Mind your business. Just beat it. That person is to be, she's annoying. She's goddamn annoying. But it appears that there is something going on here. What it is, I don't know. I also thought there were some other weird things about that shooting. I thought, not only did I think that the security that was weird, I thought it took them too long to apprehend the guy. How is it took this dude like 2.5 minutes to get away, to get off of the grassy area where the whole school is and get on the sidewalk? Like, he didn't get off of that roof fast. He didn't climb down off of that roof fast. He didn't even get away, and leave the premises of the building fast. It crossed the grass fast. None of that shit was fast. How did they not have any security around the whole building? What the hell is that? That is a total breach in any type of security protocols. That I can tell you. Like, so however they're going to explain that, I don't know. If I was Charlie Kirk's wife, I'd be suing the hell out of them. But who knows what the agreement is? But damn, that was just like, nah, man. When you insert yourself into the public in that way, and you're saying those kind of things, you need more security. You need better security if you're going to go about it that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of the people. I'm humble. I'm not going to just go into Dix, even though, my ancestors fought against the Dixies, right? The Confederates. Yeah. Do I like any of that kind of shit? This Dixie flag shit? Hell no, I don't. I don't have no respect for it whatsoever. I hate it. I don't like people like that make excuses about slavery and all of this shit. But I pick my moments when I'm going to tell you the truth and how I'm going to tell you the truth, depending on where I am at that time. You see what I mean? Because I know some of these people, obviously, they kill people. You see what I mean? So me knowing that they kill people with that kind of Dixie belief, I wouldn't necessarily be so willing to put myself in a situation where they could get me. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I know you don't pick every moment to fight your battles. And Charlie Kirk, everyone was a battle. I'm going to come to your town and I'm going to piss you off, and that's it. And you ain't going to do nothing about it, because that's what freedom of speech is. I get to say everything rotten about anybody, anyone you care for. I get to do that because it's freedom of speech, and you just got to suck it up and do nothing. Well, okay, man. Place with a lot of guns, huh? That's your way of doing it. Now, anyway, screw it. Now the next thing, right? The next thing is this. This thing right here, the boat strikes. Lawmakers are blasting Trump now. Now, I mean, I don't know what y'all think, but in a world with any type of justice, which is not guaranteed in the U.S., because the U.S. is in peril right now. The U.S. is in peril. The people, the citizenry that have more guns than China's citizenry and Russia's citizenry put together is in peril right now. Yeah, somebody's cutting their food supply. Somebody's cutting their SNAP. Somebody is not too eager to use the taxpayer dollars to assist the taxpayers in their time of need. Yeah, that's gotta hurt, to know that you paid money for the federal government to function, and now the federal government is working against you. That's gotta hurt. And I'm not talking about ego wise. I'm talking about it's got to hurt your ass. Like, no matter who you are, who's happy about that? Who's fucking happy about that? Are you happy about that? Tell me. If you're happy about it, put a 1 in the chat. If you happy how Trump is dealing with everything, no problem. Put a 1 in the chat. If you're happy how things are, put a 1 in the chat. If you're definitely not, put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious about that, because I'm going to put a 2 because although I have health care myself because I live outside of the U.S., I'm pretty much fine. I got a union job. My shit is not affected by that. I also monitor how much I spend here and there, no matter what. But I still know crazy, stupid, wild shit when I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can't fool me. There's no millionaires in this chat. So some of y'all are some lying asses, because either that or you're totally suicidal. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. And it's better to be humble than to be one of them people that's like, yeah, fuck it, I like it. Matter of fact, who put 1 in the chat? Go find out where they work at. So when they ask you later for some help, you be like, hell no, I ain't helping you. Blacksmith, Black Wolf, 639, everybody, don't help that motherfucker when shit hit the fan, because you see he's got his chest stuck out. Bring it on. I want all the wild shit. I want all the trouble. I want to live in an apocalypse where everybody have nothing, and I can survive it. Okay, buddy. Okay, you be that one. You be that one. Chad is that one too. Don't help Chad's ass, anybody. Don't waste your help on them. Help humble people. Help humble people. You see what I mean? Don't help these sickos. Don't help these sickos, you know what I mean? Because they want to play games, because ain't neither one of them no millionaire. All their family is in the same situation as you, and they out here on the internet, on some bullshit. You see what I mean? Like, all right, anyway, fuck it. You be you. You be you. This is my opinion, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. It doesn't hurt me that you do you. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Yeah. The U.S. got a lot of suicidal people, though. Either that or they trolls, Russian trolls, Chinese trolls, paying somebody somewhere in a troll farm somewhere in who knows, some country where you get paid pennies by the hour. They could do that too. That's always a factor. Maybe 10% of the people is trolls in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But I did something to check out my chat. That's why I keep the replays so I can take the data and give it back to a company, and they did tell me that some small percentages trolls, so I know who that is in the accounts, and some of them, a lot of them, but in any case, just for people to know, so maybe Americans aren't really suicidal. Maybe it's just the trolls. But in any case, this dude is fucking us up. He's out there attacking neighbors. Right now, I mean, isn't it just really weird? Like, how do you attack your own people and then you attacking other Americans? I mean, obviously, this is really, he's not doing the bidding. He's not doing what a normal U.S. president would do. Not that they perfect, but he's not even doing anywhere remotely, remotely cool. You could disagree with all the other ones, but Trump has got to be total disagreement. You see what I mean? Because he's actually fucking with people that ain't even fucking with you. And they're neighbors. They're people that you could actually have good relationships with if you wanted. He's fucking with Colombia. What's his excuse for fucking with Colombia? Is it oil? They're not really selling oil. That's Venezuela. So why are you fucking with Colombia now? You see, Trump is just fucking with people, and it ain't going to be good for American citizens because they went over this before. If you do all these tariffs, who the fuck is going to want to trade with you? If you picking and attacking on everybody, who's going to want to trade with you? Do you think Americans produce enough food for themselves? Where you get your avocados? You ain't going to be eating avocados pretty soon. I mean, there's a lot of shit you're not going to be eating if Trump keeps it up. At the same time, he's refusing SNAP to release the SNAP. You see what I mean? At the same time, he wants you, every single one of you, to pay double, triple, and quadruple more for health care. The average person is going to be kicked out of their home with that, or somebody, if God forbid, if someone gets sick in the house, terminally ill or anything, that person's going to have to die, or they're going to have to use the house as leverage. Most people, the average person in the U.S. live check to check, 2 checks away from the street. The average. You see what I mean? So that's not good. But in any case, let's listen to see what they say.
President Trump strikes on what he says are drug boats.
Oh, and look at this dumbass. Guy has no career in the military, leading the career, doing this himself. There is nobody in this chat here that is so privileged as Pete Hegseth. You would never get this chance in your life. None of you. Not one. You could be 5 times more intelligent to him. You would never get this chance. And they just this is what you call DEI for real. Pete Hegseth, a drunkard who just got a little bit of experience in the National Guard. You put him in charge of generals, hundreds of generals that got 40 years experience in combat duty. You put this numbskull in charge of him, and now he's attacking Venezuela. They don't even know what the hell they want. Let me tell you, the only thing you're going to do is kill people, but they're never going to don't you understand? South Americans may not agree on everything, but they're not with this. No South American is with this. Not one. So you can't win. You can make enemies out of South Americans, but you can't win. Anything you do in South America hurts you directly in the U.S. because you too depend on them. To have a government that doesn't know how to respect its own trade allies and its own allies. Look at this. You may as well put a motherfucker that's, shoots heroin in charge of the whole Pentagon. Fuck it. That person would do better. That person might have a a better time doing it. Imagine there's some heroin addicts, smarter than Pete Hegseth. Yes, sir. There's junkies, there's crackheads smarter than him. They could do a better job. Yo, you may as well just grab a person out the homeless shelter and throw their ass up in there, because there's smarter people in the homeless shelter than Pete Hegseth. They know more about the world than Pete Hegseth, man. This dude is just sad. Sad. What a sad person. Just damn. This dude can't stay off signal. What the fuck? He can't stay off signal. He's like, you don't tell me what to do. The Russians can spy on that. Fuck it. But you still can't tell me what to do. That's MAGA for you.
8 strikes in the Caribbean and now 2 in the Pacific.
They say 60 people are dead now.
And as the administration now dispatches an aircraft carrier to Latin America, lawmakers are pressing for more information, from the intelligence used to target the boats to the change in protocol from what used to be a Coast Guard duty to why they haven't been asked for approval. And joining us now to discuss this and more, MSNBC national security reporter David Rode.
Now, we know MAGA people don't care about the law, the implications of the law, but making no mistake about it, there is not one American citizen that is not going to suffer, and it's self-induced. Why you would want that? Hey, I don't know. But all I got to tell you is, while you are inflicting self-induced pain on yourself, you MAGA people, I got my health care. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I got my union job. It's you all that don't want union jobs. What the hell? Yo, man, this is the most weird. Actually, in some kind of way, I guess, some people earned a Trump. The United States in a way earned the Trump. And I'm not talking about the sensible people, but in some kind of way, because of its politic, its refusal to stomp out corruption, its refusal to not, put the foot down on corporate bribes, its refusal to not put their foot down on this lobbying and all of this stuff. This kind of thing is what it turns out to be. This is what it turns into,
MSNBC senior Capitol Hill reporter Ali Vitale and former commander of the U.S. Southern Command, retired General Barry McCaffrey. Ali, these strikes are beginning to get serious pushback on the Hill, including from some Republicans. What are they saying?
They're concerned about the lack of input that they have here, as well as when the president starts talking about the potential to make these more than just the strikes that we've...
Okay, so these are basically Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth private strikes. This got nothing to do with any experts. It got nothing to do with nobody else. This is their desire. It just happened one day. They just woke up, came out of the house and said, hey, fuck that. Why? They thought of something. They think they're so goddamn smart, like nobody else ever thought about the consequences of trying to get that oil. Like the consequence, they really think no one's thought this through already, and their dumbasses just went out there was like, hey, that sounds like a genius idea. You know what? We could just take it from the. Are you out of your goddamn mind? They're never going to give you shit. Don't you understand that? It doesn't matter if you kill the leader. The next one doesn't like you because of shit like this. Don't you get it? You're breeding animosity. And the neighbors don't like it. The neighbors are never going to help you. Even if they disagree with Venezuela, the neighbors are never going to help the United States do illegal actions against their neighbor either. They're all sitting back watching. There's nothing you can gain from this. The only thing that Americans can get out of this is more pain. More pain. And that's every red state person. The only thing you will get out of this is pain. And if you like it, you're going to get more of it. If you like it. Now, keep in mind, this shit could all end in one day. Because Trump and his entire cabinet can be impeached in one single day if enough Americans called for it. If they actually wanted their representatives to work for them, he would be impeached in one day. Because they're involved in so much criminality. They hate you. I mean, how can you do bad by so many people? And this is a lesson to the world. When leaders treat their own people like shit, they don't give a fuck about nobody else. So that's the easiest thing there. No one is confused about whether Trump gives a fuck about them at all. Nobody else is. The only people confused are MAGA.
Seen on sea, but now to bring them potentially to land. That's something that the president has only floated, but it started Congress talking about the idea of who has the ability to authorize that kind of force. And if it becomes a larger ground war, what role should Congress be playing? Should they be consulted? I mean, listen to what some of these lawmakers have been saying.
He's not going to be impeached because Americans are sadomasochistic. They like having the whip on them. Whoosh. You know what I'm saying? They like being treated like shit. Now, keep in mind, Americans, unlike most other Western nations, they're already in a normal situation, which it will not continue to be. In a normal situation, last year, 50% of the tax dollars you pay go to something tangible for you. 50%. Healthcare, roads, clean water, education, shit that you can actually use. And the many other things, 50%. The other 50%. But when you go to other NATO nations and you examine how they spend their tax dollars, the one I'm in, it's between 70 and 75% of the taxes people pay can be seen in something tangible directly that impacts their life every single day, that they can pick up in their hand and say, see, I show you. Americans just 50%. And now they're about to make it less. That's what they literally want to do. That was the plan. Make it less than 50%. Make it less. And there's still some Americans or trolls out there pretending like that kind of math they can escape. Okay.
days, Anna.
Du har styr på dit liv.
Oh shit. What the hell is that? All right, so let me get to the next one. Hold on. Did they say one more thing here? I think they did. One more important.
The administration needs to give insight into Congress. That's part of it. If this was happening with this level of insight under the Biden administration, I'd be apoplectic.
The White House and the Department of Defense could not give us a logical explanation on how this is legal. They were tying themselves in knots trying to explain this.
I've been invited to no briefing, but a briefing is not enough to overcome the Constitution. The Constitution says that when you go to war, Congress has to vote on it. I would call them extrajudicial killings.
Okay, so involving this petty action, just bombing little ships. I mean, come on, you know, these rockets cost more than everything in the ship and the ship in these little, but they're not ships, they're boats. These rockets, just the rocket costs more than the boat and anything on it. You see, any profit that they would be getting, what you're spending is way more. You know, not just for the rocket, but for your whole cast of people to be sitting around in a room doing nothing else but looking for tiny ass. Do you know that's like looking for minnows? And you know, you'll never be finished with that job. I mean, what you gonna do? That's your plan? To shoot every little minnow that flies by in the sea? Like, wow, that's a really dumb plan when it comes to narco handling. Trying to stop that, right? How about you just stop using it yourself? You see what I mean? Maybe, you know, that could also help. Stop selling the narco traffickers your American guns. That could help. But you know, America love their guns, boy. In any case, I'm glad we have them too, because you ain't taking my country from me. Not without a fight. Like, for real. And I know there's a whole lot of people on the left that understand exactly what I'm saying. Like, you can stick your chest out and play all these little, you know, these little warm-up games. No, bitch, when it's on, you're going to regret every second of it. But in any case, and it could be any day. You never know. But in any case, let me know this part. Let me know what you think about this part. Do you think that this is a good use of governmental power? Do you think that this is how you're supposed to go about a disagreement regarding narco handling? Anything that Trump is doing, just hitting it, not going to Congress, just doing it, killing extrajudicial killings. Do you think this is okay and it will have no consequence to you? Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is okay. If you think this is fucked up and just outrageous, just in a total abuse of all authority, all power, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know how many people agree with this kind of stuff. Because my thought is, like, if you agree with it, then fuck it. Why not? Maybe the shit should happen to you. Extrajudicial killings, that just means you never had a trial. Someone accused you of something and there was no justice that took place. Somebody just acted and killed your ass just out of an accusation. So I'm against that personally. I'm a humble guy. You see what I mean? I don't believe you step into other people's towns, other people's countries, and act like a motherfucker. You know, and act like Charlie Kirk. I don't believe you do that. And this is just the same bullshit conversation here. Not only am I going to curse you out, not only am I going to come and disrespect everybody in your town, your ancestors too, but now I'm just going to start shooting boats in the canal, shooting boats out in the lake, like with a rocket. What the fuck? This shit is fucking crazy. This is crazy on steroids. I hate watching this. Because, I mean, this is flagrant. This is definitely flagrant. It's on purpose. It's by design. It is meant to say, I hate you. You are nobody. Right? It's that kind of thing, that kind of ignorance. And it's really sad that American people have to go up with this in order to solve it, because people, you may think this shutdown is going to end tomorrow. Yo, the shutdown can go on indefinitely, legally, as far as the law is concerned. It's a legitimate tool. The shutdown, it's a legitimate legal tool. You know, if no one, if Republicans do not get enough votes to open the government up, it can be shut down indefinitely. If Republicans do not want to negotiate at all in any type of way whatsoever with Democrats, who are basically half of the, a big part of the country. Don't get it twisted. And the Democrat states are definitely bringing in more money to the federal budget than red states are. So if you think that's not worthy of acknowledgement enough for you to negotiate like their lives don't matter at all, if that's what you think, okay, go for it. It's not going to affect my health care. I live outside of the U.S. Not going to affect my meal. Got a union job. I have rights. But for you suicidal people, you if that's what you want to do, you go right ahead. For the rest of you, I feel for you. I'm on your side. The people that think this is bullshit, I'm on your side. I feel for you. I'm sorry to see this. And I'm going to tell you, if I was in the U.S., I wouldn't be taking no bullshit from none of these people. I don't believe any of this shit is lawful. I don't believe any of these ICE people are lawful. I don't believe they're following the law. Right? I'm a 55-year-old grown-ass man. I'm already a success without their ass. I'd rather die a success than to be put in, and then to allow them to exude any power over me. Like, seriously, I hate them. They're scum. Donald Trump, the regime, they are scum. They are scumbag. They may be Americans in the sense that, some of them come from America. Not all of them, though. Not Elon Musk don't. A lot of them are like first generation Kash Patel. What the fuck? Fuck you, Kash Patel. And that's MAGA for you, though. They really like themselves a coon, And Kash Patel is willing to pay the coon role because, obviously he doesn't want to go back to the country he's from and straighten shit out. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, this is what the government wants. This is what people like Kash Patel want, Elon Musk want, Peter Thiel want. They're okay. And again, we have to state that red states, this is going to decimate you. You thought this was about ethnicity. You thought this was about gender. No, this was about class. It's about class.
Middle of the government shutdown.
Republicans argue the merits of what I would call using hunger as a political weapon in the ongoing shutdown fight with Democrats.
Yeah, so this is the record, and he actually covered this very well.
Let's take a look.
There is a crisis brewing in America, and for some reason, not many people are talking about it. It has been a hell of a week for families across the nation, as many Americans got told that they no longer have a job. Just look at this list. It's astonishing. UPS, Amazon, Intel, Nestle, Accenture, Ford, Novo Nordisk, Microsoft, PwC, Salesforce, Paramount, Target, Kroger, Applied Materials, General Motors, and Meta. They all told account for 175,000 jobs. Now, keep in mind.
Any of you in the chat work for any of those companies that gave all these layoffs? Let me know. Yeah, because I do the analysis later on the chat. So let me know if you work for any of these companies that are experiencing these layoffs.
Government, Kroger, Novo, astonishing.
That's if you have a job.
UPS, Amazon, Intel, Nestle, Accenture, Ford, Novo Nordisk, Microsoft, PwC, Salesforce, Paramount, Target, Kroger, Applied Materials, General Motors, and Meta. They all told account for 175,000 jobs. Now, keep in mind, the government.
Yo, I didn't see anybody in the chat say they work for any of these companies. Okay, do you know anyone that works for any of these companies? If you know anyone that worked for any of those companies, put a 1 in the chat. Let me bring it back here.
Ford, Novo Nordisk, UPS, Amazon, Intel, Nestle, Accenture, Ford, Novo Nordisk, Microsoft, PwC, Salesforce, Paramount, Target.
This is how you know it's a lot of trolls in the chat, because they don't know nobody. These companies don't exist in troll world. Never heard of it. I never heard of UPS. What's that? I never heard of UPS. UPS? What the fuck is that? Is that American? Goddamn.
Get Kroger. It's astonishing. UPS, Amazon.
I know somebody that works for these companies, and it's a whole lot more companies too. Like straight up Amazon. I know somebody worked for Amazon. I was on the phone with them the other day, and they was complaining about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but hey, if you cool with it, hey, I'm cool with it. But I don't live in the U.S., so I could be cool with it all I want. It doesn't affect me, but I have empathy and common sense and a brain. Why would anyone want this? Because this ain't good. Because I'm gonna tell you, even if you don't live in the U.S., this is going to what Trump is doing is going to have big ramifications for the whole world. Because anytime shit starts flipping, the balance of things start tipping, guess what comes next? Guess how many people are hurt? Guess how many people have to readjust? What kind of things do you think come from readjustments? You think the world's just going to prosper so easy? No. A lot of motherfucking pain is going to happen first. A lot of pain. I'm telling you. In many different ways.
On Intel, Nestle, Accenture, Ford, Novo Nordisk, Microsoft, PwC, Salesforce, Paramount, Target, Kroger.
No, I'm in America. Somebody said, bro, don't you live in the U.S.? Bro, don't even live in the U.S. and talking about U.S. politics. This is all I needed to hear. Hey, Will Collins, you dumbass. I'm an American citizen born and raised in Washington, D.C. Okay, my family on both sides goes back to the colonial period of the United States. They fought in every war, even the war of independence. Okay, now as a grown ass man, later in my life, because I was doing it pretty well myself, traveling around the U.S., traveling around the globe, you know, in my mid-20s. Okay, when I got in my 30s, I moved abroad permanently. You jackass. So, yeah. Now, what kind of fucking American are you? You know, you don't want to let me tell you something. Even if I'm not American, you should know goddamn better. Because I know more about the United States of America than you. At least I know if I live in a country that only 50% of my tax dollars goes to something I can actually use, at least I'm smart enough to know that would make you the joke of the century. That would make you closer to a slave, you jackass. Okay, again, let me repeat it. In the country I live in, Denmark, okay, since you had to be a jackass about it, 70 to 75% of the tax dollars goes to shit that is tangible, people can see, that affect their lives directly. Did you know that, jackass? Okay, anyway, be happy being a fucking slave.
Applied Materials.
It's actually your choice.
General Motors and Meta. They all told account for 175,000 jobs. Now, keep in mind, the government right now is still shut down. It's been more than 30 days.
And now it's 2 days after this.
A lot of uncertainty is still there around food stamps and food assistance. And speaking of, despite what the president claims, the cost of living in this country is not going down. Inflation is up. Grocery.
Put a like in the chat, y'all. Put a like on the video if you don't mind. If you haven't, subscribe if you haven't heard my channel before or been here. Subscribe if you in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't agree with me, yo, if you can't click subscribe, you're a cheap ass.
Prices
if you can't click like, you're a cheap ass. You're a hater. You know what I'm saying? But just keep in mind, while you hate on me, I have a union job. I have health care. My kids going to school. They get paid to go to school. Okay? So I'm actually here to bring a little bit of dimension to the conversation for those that haven't figured it out, saying things that you didn't hear somebody saying in the next podcast out of actual real life experience. Click like.
Are up.
Thank you.
Electricity prices are up too. Healthcare costs are going to be going up, and apparently so is the likelihood that you or your
have the lights gone up. Has the healthcare who got a letter in the mail saying their healthcare is going to go up? Put a 1 in the chat if you got a mail from your healthcare provider. That's if you have healthcare, because that's not a guaranteed in the U.S. So if you got healthcare in the United States of America, did you get a letter from your healthcare provider saying that your healthcare is going to go up? Put a 1 in the chat if you did. Put a 1 in the chat if you did. If you didn't, then put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious how many of you have U.S. healthcare, right? Because as you can hear, the reports a couple of weeks, almost a month now, over a month, they've been saying that on November 1st, most people will get an increase, double, triple, whatever, for their health care. And they will get a notice because this is the buy-in period. You have to buy back in. You got to decide. Maybe that was all lies. Maybe it was all lies. Maybe was it all lies? You let me know. You let me know. But I see, come on, trolls. Y'all can be about it too. Come on. Let me know. If you're a real troll, let me know how your health care is doing.
Your neighbor's job is at risk.
Okay. Is the price of coffee gone up? Price of eggs gone up? Price of fish gone up? Price of beef gone up? Prices of bread gone up? Let me know. Carrot, vegetables, fruits. Let me know. Milk. How are those prices doing? Is this a lie? Is this a lie? Do I need to make it bigger? It says for coffee, it went up 18%, right? For eggs, chicken, 5%. For beef, that's if you like steaks, 14%. That's what this reporting says on CNN. For bread, 1%, 1.6, right? I don't know what is this, alcohol or something, or right? Maybe it's alcohol, 5.3%, maybe. I don't know. But vegetables and fruits, 1.3%. Damn, that's not much for vegetables or fruit, though. I thought it would be a little higher. 0.7 for milk. Is this truthful? Is this close to truthful, or is this just complete utter lies? If it's complete utter lies, put a 1 in the chat. If it's complete utter lies. If it's closer to truth, put a 2 in the chat. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't pay. I'm not going to Giant Foods to buy my food. I live abroad, so I wouldn't even know. You know what I'm saying? I don't have qualified data on that. I don't have personal experience on that. I haven't been to Giant since 2019. I was in the U.S. last. Went to Giant. Yeah. I automatically noticed tomato cans was more expensive than they are over here. Just back then, those are good days. Okay, so look, Angela says it's total lies. Or is it truth? Hold on. Angela says it's true. Sorry about that. I got it mixed up. Yeah, it's okay. It's closer to true, right? It's not a lie. Who said it was a lie? See, these are all troll indicators when they just keep on saying everything's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, good to ask some questions. All right, now let me go on.
This shutdown could not come at a more perilous time for a lot of Americans. And I don't know. I mean, it's been the weirdest shutdown.
It's heartless. And let me tell you, the United States is was the richest country on earth, the most powerful country to ever exist, the wealthiest country to ever exist in the history of mankind. And this man, Donald Trump, rather than these billionaires sharing the wealth, and it's not their wealth in the first motherfucking place, but rather than doing right, what is something what a real nationalist would do, what a real patriot would do right by the people, right? Instead of doing that, they said, oh no, fuck it, man, these people are wising up. Fuck it. We better steal everything because, they're going to get smart and realize that, damn, they're paying for everything, and they're going to get mad and start expecting more like other countries. People in the rest of the West expect more for their tax dollars. Americans are about to be like Canadians. They're about to be like everyone else in NATO, and they got scared and they said, fuck this. Look, we're going to make a power move. And they did, but that's not what the other NATO nations did. They said, no, they're going to remain civil and just, try to give the multitude of people a fair shot at things. And people voted for a president in the U.S. that doesn't know nothing about fair shots for people. It's really fucked. But in any case, let me flip on now. So let's hear some more about this. What is this we got going on?
While in New Jersey, the president's support for the GOP gubernatorial candidate.
Right. So folks are going out there to have elections. The elections, the voting starts tomorrow, if I'm correct, right? That would be the 5th, right? Now, this is about the Congress, right? And these are special elections these are special elections. I'm sorry. They're not the midterms. Now, apparently they're saying Republicans been getting the floor wiped with their ass. I mean, see, the reason why I think this is really unfortunate is because people shouldn't have to wait for a fucking election to get some sense. you know, Americans, again, what you're about to go through is all by choice. Every bit of pain was a choice. Some other American decided they wanted this pain. And people are going to be evaluating this moment in history globally for the rest of your life. People in colleges are going, but this is going to be the main subject in colleges across the globe. And they're going to be talking about it like this was, 1940s and shit. What happened in 2025? Did you hear what happened in the U.S.? Yeah, they went ham. They turned Nazi. Destroyed the economy, took away women's rights. They went, this right-wing, racist, bigoted, authoritarian party took control and fucked over the economy and destroyed the entire country. That's what people are going to be saying if you don't wake up and have some sense right now. That's what they're going to be saying all over the globe. They're going to be saying this in the goddamn colleges, debating this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like they debate Hitler in colleges. The only difference is that you are the specimen they're debating. It's like you'll be living out what the fuck they're debating and shit.
Jack Ciattarelli was at tele-rally last week, and his commentary on California's redistricting ballot measure has been largely focused on discrediting the vote. His administration has said it will monitor polling sites in California and New Jersey. Joining us now, John Avlon, host of How to Fix It podcast on the Bulwark and author of Lincoln and the Fight for Peace, which is a great history, I might add, and Emma Vigeland, co-host of The Majority Report. Okay, so.
Sounds like a really confident president who's like out there campaigning for all of his candidates and leading the party.
Yeah, they're saying Trump has just disappeared, basically. He knows these elections aren't going his way. And, normally he would be out there talking shit, but they've told him like, yo, all you're doing is making people vote against you, man. You're not popular right now. And Trump is also sick. He's not trying to be on no campaign trail. He doesn't want, his administration is in the, we did all this fucked up shit. Now we're just going to try to solidify and hold on to power as long as possible. So the hold on to power thing is not the same as the rollout thing. They've already rolled out the shit they were doing. Now they're going to try to just follow through and hold on to power. So Trump, he don't want to make any more speeches, really. He's never been that type to make a lot of speeches, but it's pretty much legally over for Trump. Legally, it takes time for the law to catch up, but legally it's a wrap. But since he doesn't give a fuck about the law, he's not planning on leaving anyway. So that's where it gets interesting. How much of this will the American people take? It's going to be very fucking interesting.
Across the finish line.
I remember hearing a lot about Biden and the bunker.
But I think it's a shame that American people right now are not knocking on all of their representatives' doors that are already elected and saying, you have to impeach this MFer right now. Like, I don't understand why people are not calling for impeachment right now. And I'm not talking about the blue. I'm talking about the red. Like, why are you all not calling for impeachment? Because you are going to be destroyed. You can't really want that. Like, can you really want to be, just because the blue states are more organized? They got more capital. They have more tricks up their sleeve legally too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not all spread out. Rural states, it takes a lot longer time to get shit transported around because you guys are, per person, way more spread out. You see what I mean? So things move a little different. Organization looks different, and it takes place different. So, it's going to be a challenge for everybody, but I don't see how red states are going to survive this one. I don't see. If you guys go down this path that Trump has created for you, oh man, you hate yourselves more than you even hate blue states. Then that's all I could say.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you think that Donald Trump made the calculation that these are not strong candidates in New Jersey and Virginia in these governor's races, and so stay out? What do you think? Though?
No, I think
The blue states are more organized than the red. That's all you got to worry about. Who is more organized? Who, just like what you got to worry about is who contributes more money to the federal budget. Is it blue states or is it red states? It's blue states. So it's not about whether you think they're organized enough. They fucking more organized than you. That's what you need to worry about.
Jack Citarelli, who came within 2 points of Phil Murphy last time, and Trump made his biggest per capita gains in New York and New Jersey, is a much more competitive race than Democrats would like to admit.
Yeah. So Trump ain't interested in it. He doesn't care. He's on the way out. He doesn't care who wins or anything, you know. So this is why I say when you see a president that doesn't care about any election, really, about candidates, supporting them, doing anything, that's a clear indication that he's not interested in an election. Everything he's planning on doing right now. You see what I mean? Before anything else, way before any election can save something, way before any, you see what I mean? What he's doing is more immediate than an election. Again, if you're interested in watching, you know, I've seen people talking now. I've seen poor white women on national U.S. TV saying why I voted for you. I've seen that. I've seen it. So if you MAGA people want to pretend you're not hurting right now, you know, hey, you ain't fooling nobody. The only person you might fool is yourself. You're not fooling anybody at all. You're not fooling anybody at all. You got. You got. And if you don't wake up now, you're going to get got again. You're just going to get broker and broker and broker. Broker and broker and broker. Then what you going to do? Nothing. You know, you're going to wait till you ass out to do something. That don't make any sense. But in any case, let's flip over now. This is the Midas touch. Ben Marsalis, I'm sorry, but he's been wiping the floor with Donald Trump and everybody associated with him. He has been wiping the floor. He has beaten Fox News. I mean, he has whooped their ass, you know, just like every day coming out for it. You know, Ben Marsalis is like this, 3:00, motherfucker, every day. Pow! He's coming out. Ben Marsalis is whipping ass. They kicking ass. The Midas touch is kicking ass. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's going to get stronger. You know, blue states, don't be ashamed of yourself at all. Everyone in the Western world is rooting for you. You best understand that. Everyone, pretty much 99.9% of the population of Europe is rooting for you. Canada is rooting for you. People in the blue states, people that believe in democracy, not people that just believe, fuck democracy when it doesn't look exactly how they see themselves in the mirror. That's a petty ass reason. Democracy's deeper than your color. Democracy's deeper than, all that shit, to be honest. Democracy means, hey, we can all live together in harmony because we all got a fair shot. We all have a voice. That's what it means. You don't appreciate having a voice? There's a lot of places you can live that don't have democracy. For red states, I think you've been treated pretty goddamn good. I think those days are over because of this. I think those days are over. They're just over. The country's about to change, but it's not going to change the way the right wing might think. You played your cards too soon, too fast. And plus, everybody knew what you were up with anyway. The only people still catching on is MAGA folk. And I'm enjoying watching them catch on. And every day they're going to be out on TV saying, why, Trump, why? Just like the farmers have been saying every single day. And I'm going to be enjoying it because this is your fate. This is literally MAGA fate. You know, watching them crumble, Nick Fuentes versus the other MAGA folks, watching them all crumble, you know, just because they're arrogant as fuck. They're arrogant, like very, very arrogant for, you know, for some people that shouldn't be so arrogant, you know, like they just look, they voted for Trump and Trump is gutting their ass. But in any case, Ben Marcellus does some excellent reporting. So big up to Ben, big up to the Midas Touch. Let's
edited interview that aired on TV. Another version was...
This is crazy. Trump is out there in the 60 Minutes interview. He could, the word is, he was babbling and bumbling. They had to cut the interview up so much and then re-air it. Check it out.
Was produced and placed online, but the version that aired on TV was only 28 of the 73 minutes of the overall interview. Now, it should be noted that CBS settled Donald Trump's lawsuit where he frivolously sued them because they edited Kamala Harris's interview so it would fit into their airtime.
Exactly, and that's Trump all the time. He blames somebody else for doing something, and then he does what they did 50 times more.
And very minor.
And then everyone just goes along with it. Oh, well, okay.
Mechanical edits with Kamala Harris. There were deep edits of this interview in the Midas Touch review of what went down here. Big major edits, which I'll go over with you as well. Now, CBS tends to be very litigious with their 60 minutes content, so I'm not going to actually play the videos. I'm going to describe what...
Actually, I wanted to play the video, and then when I heard this, when I heard Ben cover it, I was like, you know what? Damn, yeah, that's true. They probably going to try to strike the video or something. That's what 60 Minutes does. If you play 2 seconds of the video, you're going to get a strike. You see what I mean? So, but Ben is going to recount it for everybody. So let's listen.
Donald Trump actually said, what aired on TV, and then what didn't make it to TV, but what was shown online. So you now have the benefit of not having to hear Donald Trump's voice, and I'm going to describe what went down. So the interviewer, O'Donnell, asks Donald Trump, so will you put forward a health care plan? Donald Trump says no. Interviewer,
So no health care plan. That's what he says in the video. He has no health care plan. So his plan is that you capitulate, you just open the government up and proceed with health care price hikes like you've never seen in your life. The type that's going to kick, if you're a middle class person, you will now become basically a person without health care or a homeless person. If someone gets sick in your family, you will have to pay for it because you'll be paying double and triple more. I mean, you know, I don't know. Some people have what you call false pride. You know, they are willing out of hatred to see everyone suffer and themselves. Just out of false pride. You know, how can anyone agree with this? This would make it. See, this is where the 50% of your tax that you see turns into like 30% of your taxes that you see benefit you now. That's what's happening in your face, and you still will be, they will come back to your door tomorrow. Excuse me, citizen, can we beg for some more federal dollars from your pay wage, from your check, please? They're going to keep collecting taxes. Hey, if this is what you think is okay, then just be calm and relax and kick back and enjoy the show. If you don't think it's okay, yeah, better start knocking on some congressional members' doors, specifically the right wing, you know, because they get paid from your money too. I mean, where's all that money going to? Why should they collect federal tax dollars if it's not supposed to work for the people? Do something for the people they're collecting it from. You know, yeah.
2015, you've said you're going to fix it.
Americans have gotten used to this.
So you're not going to actually give the American people a health care plan? Donald Trump says, nope, we are not. We almost did it. And then he blames the Democrats and says the reason that we're not going to give a health care plan, he says it's the Democrats' fault. Everything is the Democrats' fault, he says. Then The interviewer says, but Mr. President, with all due respect, you've been saying this over and over again. And he goes, sorry, nothing I can do. The Democrats. All right, let's change topics, says O'Donnell. And she says, we all agree that grocery prices are going up. And Donald Trump says, nope, you're wrong. Grocery prices aren't going up.
Okay, so are grocery prices going up in the United States of America? And only people that live in there answer, because I don't know. I don't live in the U.S. I'm an American citizen, born and raised in Washington, D.C. Big up to D.C. We love that go-go. You know what I'm saying? And we love our jazz, too, and we love our soul. You know what I'm saying? But, and everything else, right? Thank you. God bless the elders, Duke Ellington and all that, right? But although my family on both sides is from the colonial period in the U.S., I live outside of the U.S. as a grown-ass man. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I can't walk in the grocery store in the U.S. right now and see. So I'm relying on you to tell me the truth. You let your voice be heard. And the trolls, I'm not really talking to you. I know you're going to do what it do. But folks, for the folks that are actually going to the grocery store, let me know. Are the prices higher? If the prices are higher, just write higher in the chat.
To which the interviewer says, but when you go into the grocery store, you see the prices that are higher.
Commanders.
People know that inflation is surging right now. What do you say to them? No, he goes, inflation is done. I've eliminated it. And everybody in America is happy right now.
Look, Black Wolf says lower. Black Wolf 399. That's a troll. Just in case y'all don't know. I said trolls don't answer. Goddamn, Black Wolf.
Now, Then they changed topics and she asked Donald Trump about Zoran Mamdani in the upcoming New York City mayoral election.
Yo, thank you, Zoran Mamdani. You know, yeah, because what's your choices? A bunch of old corrupt asses? Like Cuomo is corrupt as hell. Why are you running again? Mayor Adams, man, when do you people start caring? Like you have, New York has millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of fucking people, and you motherfuckers want to just keep on hogging all the space? Get a fucking job. Stop ripping off the taxpayer. Stop begging for taxpayer dollars, man. You're lame. You're lame. Like, yo, yeah, oh my God, man. They some lazy asses. Like, I'm happy to see a young guy, you know, be willing to at least wake up every day and commit himself to the job, wanting to make life better for people, not settling for just mediocrity as it's okay. Oh, well, okay, yeah, fucking homelessness everywhere, but that's normal in New York.
To which Donald Trump says, I think that I'm much better looking than him, right? Aren't I much better looking than Mamdani?
Listen to Trump. He's like worried about him looking better than Mamdani. He's not worried about, you know, see, and this thing is like this, how it works. People in the U.S., I saw somebody in the chat talk about socialism and Mamdani. Well, you have no problem with socialism when it comes to Elon Musk. You don't have a problem with giving him your tax dollars, right, for his private corporation. You don't have a problem with it for Peter Thiel, do you? No. You don't mind paying for Trump's pockets, you know? You don't mind paying for a lot of shit, actually. You don't mind paying for the military. What the fuck do you think the military is? You think everybody's not paying into that? Why should everybody pay into the military? Answer my question. What the fuck does the military do for everybody? That's social. Why you want everybody paying into the military? Why can't they just fucking do it themselves? Why you need my money? Why don't we just go all independent? Fuck taxes. How about that? Why do you need people's tax money for anything? Why do red states need blue states' federal dollars? Leftover money. Why do they need that? Why? They believe in socialism. They believe in taking money from the earner states, the blue states, and having it redistributed, some of that, to red states that earn less than they use. That's socialism. So you got socialism. The question is, how do you use it? You don't use it for your health care. You don't use it for your education. You don't use it for the shit that fucking matters. Okay? You can still have capitalistic engine, you know, running things, providing, I mean, that's what everybody else has. Denmark has a capitalistic engine when it comes to goods, the sale of goods. It's just the healthcare and the education is shared by everyone. That means everybody has equal access to it. That's what that means. But what you do with your own life is up to you. Everybody don't get paid the same in Denmark. You have to be certified in something. You have to have experience in something to get pay hikes, to go up the ladder. No, that check is not guaranteed for everybody. You see, but everybody's guaranteed to have health care. Everybody's guaranteed to have an education if they want to do the work, if they want to show up, take the exams, take the entry exam, and then follow through with the class and get a degree. Yes, you get a stipend for that. No excuse. You can't say it was too expensive. That's why you didn't get a education. You didn't get a college degree. You didn't do it. That's not an excuse. That's not why you couldn't get a technical certification or a technical school, the qualifications or anything like that, education. No, that's no excuse here. None of that excuse. This ain't the place for lazy people with excuses. See, that's the United States of America. I don't have no money. Yeah, because it cost. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. That wasn't because you were lazy. That's because you fucking don't pay people an honest wage. You got people with 3 fucking jobs that can't even afford to live in an hour's distance from where they work. 2 hours distance. Man, I don't put up with bullshit. That's my first job as an individual. Okay, if you want to put up with that bullshit, that says a lot about who you are. Like, as an individual. Like straight up, I'm just saying it. Everybody choose their path. Everyone makes their choices. You had the same choices I had. What's your excuse? You like bullshit and mediocrity? Okay, well then sit on your ass and accept it. Accept bullshit mediocrity. You'll see where that gets you.
That's what Donald Trump said. What the hell are you talking about? I need better look.
And Trump's not even worried about how to make shit cheaper. He's like, does Mondani look better than me?
Than him, right? Aren't I much better looking than Mamdani? That's what Donald Trump said. What the hell are you talking about? Then Donald Trump goes on to say that he knows that Russia and China are testing nuclear weapons, even though they're not. And the only country that's recently
got another Putin scam going on. Trump Putin, what do you call it? Down low. Trump and Putin down low scam. Yeah, Trump's coming out talking about everybody else is doing it. No, that's what Putin wants him to do it so they can test something. That's the point. And American people, again, if that's the best you can get out of your president, a traitor, okay, we'll see how far that goes.
Tested nuclear weapons is North.
You don't mind giving them your fucking money. That's obviously show. MAGAs don't mind. They love giving Trump their money. While they starving, while they like, why you do this to me? Please, Trump, I voted for you. Wait a second, I got some more money here.
Korea. So the interviewer goes, well, this would be pretty big news if you're telling us that you're aware of secret nuclear testing going on right now by China and Russia.
Trump is just a shit talker. More shit. Let's go.
Wrong, he says. And then she goes, well, that would certainly be pretty big news if they're doing secret nuclear tests. Are you sure that's what's going down? He goes, I'm absolutely sure that's what's going down. So why do we need to?
Lunatic on deck. Look at his face. Look at this goddamn. I have to make this bigger. Let me see something. Can I make this bigger? This is the most weird looking dude on earth right here. Come on, Trump. Come on, baby. Where is it at? Is it right here? Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let's make his face bigger for everybody. Here we go. Can y'all see his face? Look at that. What kind of look is that? What the fuck? This dude is like, he looks like a dunce. He just looks like a fucking dunce. Like, what is this, man? Y'all got time for this shit? Yo, I never in my life had time for anybody. This Trump is nothing more than a waste of your goddamn life. That's exactly what he was sent here to do, to waste your life. And if you got time for that, if you got time to waste your life, you got time for somebody to come in your life and waste all your energy, waste your money, waste your time with. Okay. Okay, I'm learning some shit. I never thought Americans had this much time for bullshit. I actually never thought I could have never have fucking it. And anybody that knows me would tell you that, like, damn, no, man, you were really. I would never think my own citizenry, my own nation's people, would let somebody pull a scam on them like this. I could never have fucking imagined. But that's because I'm from a blue state. So we got to be honest. The red state people walked in this suffering because they would. They put up with insurmountable amount of bullshit. They just, okay, I can eat more shit. Give me more shit to eat, Trump. Trump, what do you think about this? He's going to give some kind of incoherent speech.
Why do we need to test our nuclear weapons? Donald Trump says, well, because you have to see how well they work. That's why I've ordered that we do nuclear tests. We all know how devastating that's going to be if the United States starts.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. So that's where Trump is on. Trump's on that bullshit again. Yeah, this was a scandal. This Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson shit was a scandal too. Now it's blowing up. I'm glad I actually did this the other day. Go back and check that live. I don't know if was it 2 days ago. Check this live, or a day ago, something like that. Check this live. But this is where the U.S. is going. Foolishness, stupidity, make believe. Yeah, everything is fake. Everything is fake. I mean, authoritarians live off of fakeness, everything about them, who they are, how they conceive themselves, when they get into this thing about our founding fathers, ours, who the fuck are you talking about ours? A lot of these people not even connected, families weren't even in the country when the founding fathers were there. I know my family was, but a lot of these people they get away with it just because how they look, pretending. Really, seriously, pretending like, they quote 1776. A lot of them, no. Now, I'm talking about the higher ups, the TV personalities, the leaders, Trump, third generation immigrant. I mean, this is MAGA for you. These people even forgot U.S. history. They actually think everybody came to the U.S. united. All the Europeans came to America united. Yeah, we all one group. No, that's not what happened. They were not united. They actually fought against each other. Did you forget? They were actually burning witches and shit for different religious reasons. You from this religious group? Fuck it, we gonna burn your ass on a stake. That's American history. That's real American history. Stop trying to be racist about American history. Even Europeans weren't all on the same boat, weren't all in it together for the same reasons. And I'm talking about even far after the War of Independence, even after the Civil War. And, in a lot of places, these ethnic groups of Europeans, they didn't fucking like each other. Flat out. I don't know how much American history you know, but that is not the case at all. And now when you see people like Tucker, that was that little thing about, sure, that may have been created, this concept that they've flown on. It was created in the U.S., but, that doesn't mean that they were together in agreement about everything. They didn't necessarily like each other. In fact, they killed each other and fought against each other and treated different ethnic groups like shit. Some European ethnic groups were treated like shit by other European ethnic groups in the United States of America. That's just real facts about American history. And now when you hear these bozos talk about it, they just try to throw everybody together in one bunch and shit. So it's Nick Fuentes now, funny ass name, Nick Fuentes, the right wing extremist, the KKK man, the outright man, together with weird ass Tucker Carlson trying to, create some symbiotic relationship between the two groups. No, man, you motherfuckers ain't even totally alike. You're trying to make it like it's a group, man. These are just ragtag ass people that are fucking been on a fake false high about U.S. history, a false high. You know what I mean? Like they reimagined that no one else was in the War of Independence, that no one else was there in the Civil War. No black people were there. They didn't fight for their honor. The black people, no, only we fought for our honor. We fought for honor. They fought because what? They had to? Shit. Oh, we fought in World War II because we had to? Is that the case? That's not the case. What happened was that the United States was losing World War II. And they decided to let black African Americans into the war at that time because they were losing. Big up to Tuskegee Airmen, and big up to all the other fallen soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Especially from our group, all the fallen soldiers that fought, because obviously we got a Nazi problem now in our own country. So big up to all the peoples whose families fought against the Nazi, but also big up to our group too. Don't let these little bitches try to erase us over some little petty, ignorant reason. They don't even know what blood flows through their veins. All of them probably got a lesson to learn with DNA. You see what I'm saying? But in any case, y'all, I'm out. I'll be back. I will be back today in a few hours. I'll be back in 5 hours from now, y'all. I got a little bit of time on my hands, so I want to thank everybody for coming out. Click the like button if you didn't click the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, or if you just getting here for the first time. Let's keep the energy going. I'm going to be around until this cookie gets solved, man. You know, I'm only doing this because I care for my country. I care for my countrymen. Even though I live outside of the U.S., I'm definitely a proud American. And, you know, I feel for my people right now. And, you know, but hang in there. To the people that's been out making noise on the street, big up to you. Ultimate respect to you. To the people that have been fighting these fights in the courts, big up to Democracy Docket also. I forget his name, something Elias. Big up to him, because he's got cases and cases on Trump, and they've been fighting and winning and winning and winning. Big up to a lot of the DAs that are fighting the cases, you know, as we see Letitia James, but across the country. Big up to Comey. Big up to being indicted and all these fake ass charges. Big up to everybody that is trying to hold it together for our country, no matter if you're in the military, no matter if you're in the feds, under these situations. Fuck Kash Patel, fuck Pete Hegseth, fuck Pam Bondi, you know, pedophile protecting Pam Bondi. Fuck all of them. They're just corrupt bastards. We gotta get this shit together. But I'm gonna catch y'all soon. I appreciate everybody. All right? Y'all be good. 4 hours, I'll be back. All right?
Ladies and gentlemen.
See ya. Release the Epstein files.
They want war. Crime babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe. People subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day in every crew. Don't let it go. It's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Leaving 7 roads to the 12 families.
What's up,
all
Tia?
around the
What's
globe
up,
with
Tia?
an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct. And I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink. But I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and I feel we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die. You voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more. But they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more. But they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers. Cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack, and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute, you might hear, but they won't, cause the TV's whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't fear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't steer. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison.
They want war. All they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. All they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war.